welcome to the Adams Central Class of 2024 Freshman Project Podcast. My name is Nick Beckner, and I'm hosting my classmate, Gavin Arner, today. We will learn how Gavin Arner spent his time and service hours required for graduation at AC. Gavin, what organization did you work with?
I worked with my church. My church is Salem Agley Church.
Explain to me, what did you do for your service?
I did a couple of things. The first thing I did was I set up and I ran the projector for my church. And after that, the second thing that I would do was I would run the projector during the service. And I did this pretty much all throughout the pandemic. And like I already said, I did this at my church, Salem Agley Church.
Oh, sounds interesting. What do you want people to take from this service?
The thing I want people to take away from this is just to help others, do what's right, be generous, and just to be kind.
Good idea. What is the main emotion you felt while serving?
I felt hopeful. I felt hopeful that I was helping spread the word of God and helping it reach others.
Why do you think this is a beneficial experience?
I think that it is a very beneficial experience because it can bring you closer to God and it can make you feel like you're doing good in the community.
That is for sure. Why would you recommend volunteering to other people?
I would highly recommend volunteering because it gives you a sense of self-fulfillment, and also you're doing good in the community and you're doing what you should be doing. You're being a good neighbor.
How did you get with this organization?
The way that I had gotten with this organization, Salem Agley, is whenever I was about 3 or 4 years old, started going preschool, and we were talking about God, and we didn't go to church at that time, and so we started going to church there at Salem, and ever since then we've been a member.
What is your favorite memory?
I would say that my favorite memory has to be from the first time that I was serving. I started doing my service, and after the church had ended, my pastor, he came over to me and he had thanked me for the job that I was doing, and I'd say that's probably my favorite memory.
Wow, sounds like a good memory. Well, thank you, Gavin, for sharing your freshman volunteer project with us today.
Welcome to the Adams Central Class of 2024 Freshman Project Podcast. My name is Isaac Schultz, and I'm hosting my classmate, Alayna today. We will learn how Alayna spent her service hours required for graduation at Adams Central. Alayna, tell me a little bit about the organization you worked with.
I worked with my church Westside community in Monroe, and they exist to see God move in the hearts of the people through gospel unity and missions.
What kinds of things did you do at your service?
I swept all the carpets, cleaned all the windows, wiped down all the pews and all the tables and chairs.
How did it feel to help your church?
Good, because it helped the girl that cleans everything every week by herself, so she had more time to spend with her family instead of cleaning all day.
How did your church benefit from your service?
It helped people in the church feel safer and healthier.
How did you meet the need you researched?
I stepped in to help others, even though most people wouldn't have noticed.
Was your time of volunteering worth it, and what made it worthwhile?
Yes, it was, and what made it worthwhile was the feeling of helping my church.
How do you feel about this, and would you do it again?
I felt like I contributed to something that needs to be done and keep my church nice, and yes, I liked the smile she had on her face at the end knowing someone wanted to help her.
Well, thank you, Alayna, for sharing about your freshman volunteer project with us today.
Welcome to the Adams Central Class of 2024 Freshman Project Podcast. My name is Finn Meyer, and I'm hosting my classmate Cody Oslin's podcast today. We will learn how Cody Oslin spent their service hours required for graduation at Adams Central. All right. For question number 1, by cleaning the church, do you feel you gain patience, and why or why not?
Yes, because while cleaning we had to share supplies, and the supplies would be used an hour at a time.
What was the things or places inside the faith Alive Ministries that was the most fun for you to do?
The funnest things to do was that in between the cleanings, we would get to eat and play games.
Do you feel there were any things or hard parts to clean? Why or why not?
No, it was not that hard to clean, but the hardest thing was to take everything out and then put them back in.
Do you think you will continue to clean your church? Why and why not?
No, because I have a real job.
All right. Do you think you learned any life skills by going to the church or qualities you can use in the future?
Yeah, the life skills I learned is to work together and you'll get the job done faster. And I don't think there would be any qualities that I would use in the future.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to add?
No.
All right. Well, thank you, Cody Osland, for sharing about your freshman volunteer project with us today.
Welcome to the AC Podcast. My name is Gideon Reynolds, and I'm hosting Faith Zerker today, and we will learn how she served. Where did you volunteer at?
I volunteered at the annual Valentine's Day Supper at Pleasantdale Church on February 10th.
What did you do while you volunteered?
While I volunteered, there was many different options that I could do, but the part that I did was like the second part of the operation. I had to work at a small printer and wait for orders from the other people I was working with who had tablets send in orders to me onto a big TV. Once the orders came in, the printer printed out a small piece of paper with the customer's name on it and blank choices. My job was to fill out the blank choices. For example, there would be an option for dressings for salads. I would have to circle R for ranch, I for Italian, or no for no salad. And all that they wanted was up on a TV right in front of me, so it made it really easy. After I circled all the things that the customer wanted, I would give it to the next set of people in the chain or the operation that I was doing.
So how did you feel before and after you served?
Before serving, I always felt like I got in the way around people. But after, I felt like I was really needed and wanted there and was wanting to help other people.
What need did you fulfill while serving?
The need I fulfilled while I served was giving back to the community. The people around me do so much for me, and the supper gave me the opportunity to provide a free meal for them. I'm very thankful for the people around me because they affect my life in many positive ways, even though I might not know it and the people around me might not know it.
Why did you decide to volunteer at your church?
I love being around the people at my church. They're practically my second family. I don't mind doing volunteer work, and it helps that I like working with the people at my church because I'm very comfortable with them. As many people know, I'm pretty shy around people I don't know, so then it just gets me to open up in front of other people when I know the people I'm working with. Volunteering gives me such a positive feeling after, and it makes me in a really happy mood. I generally think it makes me more of a better person working with the people around me and helping my community.
Thanks, Faith, for taking the time to talk about your project today. I'm Gideon Reynolds with the AC Podcast, signing off for now, and as always, go Jets!
Welcome to the Adams Central Class of 2024 Freshman Project Podcast. My name is Zach Worm, and I am hosting my classmate Anna Lizzie today. We will learn on how Anna spent her service hours required for graduation at Adams Central. Anna, what organization did you volunteer for?
I volunteered for the Bridge Community Church in Decatur, Indiana. They have one in Bern, but I volunteered in the one in Decatur on January 27th.
And what did you do while volunteering there?
What I did was I helped set up and decorate for our marriage conference we have every year. So one thing I did was I had to cut out blueprints of our church and fold them and put them on the tables. And I had to put pens and little houses and other tools on the tables for our theme, Marriage Under Construction.
How did you feel before and then after volunteering at your church?
At first, I felt really tired and kind of anxious because I didn't know what to expect, and I went to school all day before that. But after I was done volunteering, I felt exhausted still because it was a lot of work, but I was also relieved because it was over.
Okay. How did your work impact the community?
My work impacted the community because I helped set up for our really important and helpful marriage conference to help teach about marriages, and I felt I could be a part of that too.
What made this job worthwhile?
What made it worthwhile was knowing that I was helpful and a part of the marriage conference for this year because I helped set up for it.
If you could go back, would you still do this for your volunteer hours?
Yes, because it was really calm and it wasn't overwhelming, and it was in a setting that I know since I've gone to that church since I was little, and that was with people I knew, like my sisters and my youth pastor.
And what is one fact you have learned?
One fact I learned was in 2019, there were over 2 million marriages in the U.S., and there were almost 800,000 divorces following that.
What's one memory you have learned from your church?
One memory I've learned is when I was younger, I used to go to this thing called Kid Stuff for our church, and we would sing and dance and color, which was really fun. And I also was in the Christmas program that we have every year for 1 year, and it was really fun.
Well, thank you, Anna, for sharing about your freshman volunteer project with us today.
Welcome to Adams Central Class of 2024 Freshman Project Podcast. My name is Finn Meyer, and I am hosting my classmate, Damian Vega, today. We will learn how he spent his service hours required for graduation at Adams Central. All right. What did you do?
I went and made food for the Matador Motel in Decatur at St. Mary's Catholic Church.
How did you feel while serving?
Good.
What did you see whenever you were serving?
Food.
Was this easy or hard in the line?
It was pretty easy. All you did was make meals.
Would you do this again if you could?
I'm doing it again today, actually.
What was the need that you was met?
Handing out food to poor people that don't have food.
What was the hardest part of your service while handing out food?
Food got kind of heavy sometimes.
Do you think you learned any life skills?
No.
What was your best memory at the church?
The Easter vigil that happened this Easter.
When you were serving, what task did you do, and can you please describe it?
Well, we made food, and the first week we made like 35 meals, and the second one we made 40. It's just been going between 35 and 40 meals. It's really random meals every day, and we pass them out to people.
What did you do with all the extra food?
Father Dave.
Who is Father Dave?
The main pastor.
If you had to do this in the future, would you do it? Why or why not?
Well, I think I already said this earlier, but I'm doing it again this Monday. Actually, today. I'm doing it again for another 3 hours.
Yes, but I mean like in the future, like 20 years in the future. Would you do it again?
Why would I do that?
What do you feel you accomplished for yourself during all this?
Nothing really. Kind of just helping people. I don't know. Good karma.
Well, thank you, Damian Vega, for sharing about your freshman volunteer project with us today. Welcome to Adams Central Class of 2024 Freshman Project Podcast. My name is Finn Meyer, and I am hosting my classmate Tyler Oslin's podcast today. We will learn how Tyler Oslin spent his service hours required for graduation at Adams Central. All right, Tyler, your first question is, how did it feel voluntarily for your organization?
It felt good because I got to see the volunteers and the happy people we help.
All right, what was the name of your organization?
Faith Alive Ministries.
What was the hardest part of cleaning the church and why?
It was taking everything out, like the benches and stuff. And then we had to take all the like radio equipment or like the speakers, microphone. My grandpa has like a big sword in there, and one of the people cut his finger because he was carrying it stupid.
Do you think you will continue to clean the church in the future, and why?
Probably not, because it was really hard and I have a job now, so I get paid for something I work hard for.
Do you think you learned any life skills along the way?
Yeah, I learned that helping people is a good feeling. I get to see the smile on everyone's faces, and it makes me smile back. That I knew I made them happy.
What was your best memory at your church?
The best memory I had was when my little brother, it was his first birthday. It was noon. It was really hot. Then my grandpa put out snow cone machine and an ice cream machine. And we just had big celebration for his first birthday. And he got $500 from everybody.
All right, well, thank you, Tyler Osland, for sharing about your volunteer project with us today.
Welcome to the Adams Central Class of 2024 Freshman Project Podcast. My name is Lindsay Collier, and I am hosting my classmate Haylee Brown today. We will learn how Haylee spent her service hours required for graduation at Adams Central. Haylee, who ran the organization you worked for?
The priest was the person who ran the volunteering group, and he would also buy us food for after.
How many hours did you serve?
5 hours. 4 to 8, and then after we would have some fun activities and eat and just play in the church.
How long have you been Catholic?
I was baptized at St. Mark's and stayed there for 4 years. I don't know. And then I was pulled into the church when my mom married a Catholic, and I was in 2nd grade, and I had First Communion and my first confession, and then in 8th grade I was confirmed.
So have you always gone to the same church?
No, my whole young time I was at St. Mark's, and then 2nd grade I left.
How many times did you serve?
Only twice due to COVID, because they only let the important people at the church go and clean.
Do you have a specific memory that sticks out when you think about this?
One time me and my cousin got to go up to the priest's home, and he showed us around, and then there's a clock at the top of the church, and we got to climb 5 different stairs to get up.
Did you clean the priest's home?
No, because I'm too little. The other important people will.
Did you enjoy doing this?
Yeah, it was a great experience, and it was very fun because I got to eat, and I like eating.
Would you recommend this to other people?
Yeah, it's a great experience, and you get a lot of food, and you don't have to pay for it.
Overall, how would you rate your experience here?
I would rate it a 10, because it's fun, and sometimes you get bored just sitting around.
Well, thank you, Haylee, for sharing about your freshman volunteer project with us today.
Yep.
Welcome to Jets Pitchin' Podcast. My name is Ian Brown, and I am hosting my classmate Carter Steele today. We will learn how Carter spent his service hours required for graduation at Adams Central. Carter, what did you do for your volunteer hours?
For my volunteer hours, I worked in the sound room with my dad to help advance slides during the service at my local church, Pleasantdale.
Why did you choose this service?
Well, I've been with the church for a while, and I've been in that sound room for a long time. My dad worked in there, he still does, and every Sunday I would be in there with him, and I just thought that was so cool that he did that, so I decided to do that too when it was asked of me.
How did your work benefit the organization?
So what I specifically did was I would advance slides and play videos that were needed, and it would just really help the service run more smoothly is what it did to simplify it.
Was this like during like when they were singing songs, you would like advance slides and?
Yeah, and I would. Our pastor has certain messages, and you would put certain words in at certain times, and had to listen for his voice to know when to put up certain things.
Okay. How do you think your time serving affected you?
I think it deepened my meaning of what church meant to some people. To see how people's days were better and how they could be given hope and just all the fellowship that they had. It really showed just, what it meant to people, really.
Do you think more volunteers should do the work you did? Why or why not?
I do think more people should be involved with the church. I don't think they have to do exactly what I did. You can work in a nursery, you can work, you can be a Sunday school leader, or just being involved anywhere. You don't even have to serve there. You can be just a participant.
So you're saying all the jobs at the church, no matter big or small, are super important?
Yeah, I would say that. It's very true.
Would you do this service again?
Yes, I would.
Why?
Why? Well, it makes my day to see all the people's days better. Every single person I interact with makes me happy to see them happy. What was the question again? Would I do it again?
Yeah.
Yes, I would also like to do other things. If I maybe as an adult could be a Sunday school leader, I think that would be beneficial to me and other people.
Well, thank you, Carter Steele, for sharing about your freshman volunteer project with us today. Have a great day and go Jets.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Adams Central Class of 2024 Freshman Project Podcast. My name is Jenna Cook, and I'm hosting my classmate, Lindsay Collier, today. We will learn how Lindsay spent her service hours required for graduation at Adams Central. Lindsay Collier, when you first started babysitting, what was your first impression?
I've known these girls for a very long time. I think I met them when I was in 3rd grade, and I've been pretty close with them ever since. They are great to be around, and they both have really great personalities.
What were your feelings whenever you were babysitting?
There were many emotions that I felt during the process. Overall, it was good. There were points in time where it was sort of stressful, but most of the time it was fun and it made me happy.
What made you choose to babysit these girls?
I chose to babysit these girls because I have known them for so long. I knew I'd be comfortable around them and that they'd be comfortable around me. I also felt that I was helping out their family by doing this.
Why do you feel that you helped Trisha?
Personally, I feel like I helped her relieve some stress. She's a mom of 3 who's finishing college and working. So I knew that doing this would allow her to relax a little. I also helped clean up around the house so she wouldn't have to do everything on her own when she got back from work or school.
How do you know Trisha?
I met Trisha at the same time I met the girls. She was working with my mom at the school in the special needs room, and her and my mom became best friends. That's when our families became close, and we have been ever since.
Would you babysit them again?
I would definitely babysit these girls again. They're awesome people, and I enjoy their company.
Okay, and how close are you with the family?
I'd say that we're pretty close. We've gone on trips together. We went to Florida with them this year, and in 7th grade we went to the Indiana Dunes. So I'd say that we're close. So babysitting them was an experience that I knew I would enjoy and something that would be easy for me to do and for the family to do since they knew me personally.
What did you do on the job?
Well, I was watching the girls, so I would cook them food. I would help them clean up after themselves. I would take them on walks. We'd go to the park. Just stuff like that, the basics. So I played a lot with them and just spent time with them, basically. And I just enjoy being around them and watching them grow because I know now that they're great people and to see them improve in life, and I get to watch them grow up, and it's a cool experience. So I think they're going to be great people when they're older, and I love spending time with them. They're great people.
Well, thank you, Lindsay, for sharing about your freshman volunteer project with us today.